You went too late in the batting order today. Huh? I know. But when I saw the bat, good leg rounds. Welcome to our second semi-final featuring North York Titans, the Windsor Rangers. That catch is dropped by Chaitanya, usually a very sure-handed fielder. Looked like he was playing a little too nonchalant. Not sure what happened there. Chaitanya, a very, very, very steady fielder. Captain having none of that. Devashish Soni going straight to a replacement of his draft pick. Something we haven't seen, but zero tolerance from the captain on that. That was a catch, and he knows it's a big one. Touching on strike facing the first ball that he's seen today. Slower delivery off the foot of the fielder. Just a single taken. Opens his account. Sachin had a great quarterfinal match. Dhruv pushes it onto the offside. Takes 2 runs. Sorry, Divyang takes 2 runs there. The scoreboard showing 1 on the screen, but it's actually 4. We're just working through some minor glitches again. Sachin pushes it off to the leg side for 4 runs. Sachin is in form, playing really well in the quarters and semis today. That's a little edge. Looks like they're coming back for 2 runs off of 6. Devyang has 7 off of 8. Wicketkeeper Atmiya. He takes that wide ball and punishes it onto the offside for 6. That's a big shot by Sachin. 12 runs off of 7 balls faced. Vatsal has given up 8 runs this over. He has 2 more deliveries to go. That was mistimed by Sachin. Looked like he was trying to flick it to the leg side. The opening partnership of Sachin and Divyang has yielded 22 runs. Obviously a loss of no wickets. Right, चला हाँ क्या क्यों रामपुर से के मंदिर से Oh, there's a shot of the Windsor Ranger bench, patiently waiting and watching, cheering on their team. Their opening pair has 23 runs to their name. Sachin on strike. Sachin flicks it over to the offside. Looks like there's going to be a chase. The fielder takes the long route, gets there. 2 runs taken by Sachin. Their current run rate is at just under 8. Sachin charges down. Looks like it was kind of premeditated. Chaitanya picks up the wicket, bowls him. That's a big wicket. Sachin was playing well. He played well in the quarters. He played well throughout the tournament. That may be the last time we see Sachin. Maybe not. Let's see how his team does. He also does bowl. So he will be an integral part of the Windsor Ranger attack. New batsman Darshan faces the first ball that he's seen from Chaitanya. A slight miss. Darshan once again plays the ball, pushes it right to the bowler. Chaitanya has a pretty good over here. 2 runs conceded, 1 wicket. 3 dot balls to his name. Let's see if he can keep it tidy with his last delivery. Of his second over, he's given up only 12 runs so far, with 1 wicket taken. Good punch. Fielded cleanly by the fielder in the offside. Whatzel with an appeal for an LB. Darshan with a little punch to the offside gets one run, fielded cleanly once again by the fielder in the long off. Divyang, 8 runs off of 9 deliveries that he's seen. Been busy on the offside here. Fielder once again gets in position. Scoops it up easily just for 1 run. Current run rate has dropped down closer to 6 now. They do have 2 more power play overs. But they won't be useful if you don't have batsmen. That's the second wicket that the Windsor Rangers have lost. 2 balls left in this over. There is a shot to the leg side, fielded by the fielder, held them to only 1 run. However, it's a no ball, indicated by the umpire, no ball. Free hit. Dhruv has faced 2. He will take advantage of that. Punish it for a 6. That free hit 6. That's a second no ball. No ball given by the leg umpire. No ball, free hit. No. Good appeal from Captain Devashish. However, a no ball takes precedence over a wide ball. Therefore, a free hit is awarded. Chaitanya needs to get it back in here. Here's a free hit coming. Guru has 6 runs off of 3 balls that he's faced. And make that another 6. off of a free hit. That's a big six. Chaitanya is getting absolutely punished. That ball was well over the commentator box, the scorer box in the stadium here. If you look at that scorecard, we got a no ball six, no ball six, single run taken six. Divyang and Drew have double digits now. Windsor Rangers have got 50 runs on the board. That one had a chance to be caught, however, it was landing safely. Chaitanya is happy to finish off that over. I'm not going to say his stats, but I'll say him anyway. He bowled 3 overs, 35 runs, took 1 wicket. It was a long over for Chaitanya, but it makes the game quite expensive and quite exciting. Up in the air, lands safely for another single. Caught by the bowler, huh? Full toss, hit down the ground, fielded cleanly, very close. Would have and could have had a wicket there. Jimit dives in. Looks like he did take a little bit of a bump. Would have been a wicket if I'm not mistaken. Well done by the fielder. Well done by the batsman. Running in at full steam. There's another almost full toss. Good fielding by the team. They are laying out and really giving it all. Real North York Titan cricket. Strong fielding by the team. That's the end of the over. As you see, our senior team getting ready for one of the most interesting matches that we have in APL. Right before the finals, we'll have a seniors match. We call them seniors, but they're not really seniors. They are older youth, is what they like to be called. They have a match set up. I think it's a 10-over match. One of the most competitive matches. You think the umpires have a tough time now. Wait till you see what the umpires go through in that match. But before we get there, we have 54 runs on the board for the Windsor Rangers. 54 runs at the loss of 3 wickets. Devashish Soni, captain of the North York Titans, bowling here. Usually bowls a pretty tight over. In general, one of the best bowlers that we have seen in Atmia Cricket Club as well as Atmia Premier League. Very strong strategy. Uses his strategy well, setting his fielders and also setting up the batsmen. He really adjusts his line length, pace, and delivery. There's a slow ball, and it goes for 6. Sometimes the batsmen catch on to the slow ball. If he doesn't get the length that he's supposed to, it ends up right there with a 6. Captain Jimit facing Captain Devashish. Devashish laying out, making sure that it's not a single. Jimit didn't want a single. Looks like both captains have a little bit of a quad slash hamstring injury. Looks like both captains, the bowler and the batsman, have a quad or hamstring injury. Jimit getting lucky. That one squeezed through between his leg and the leg stump. Here's the last ball of Devashish's first over. Looks like that's the end of the over. Jimit missing an opportunity of a full toss. We have a strategic timeout coming up. Here we go after the strategic timeout. 61 runs on the board. They still have wickets in hand. They can play a little more aggressive now. But there's not much aggression you can have with a ball and delivery like the one that Dhruv just had there. Right in the block hole. Not much that the batsman could do. Well done for a first delivery out of the strategic timeout. Wicketkeeper Atmiya Surya keeping check on the batsman, making sure that he's not coming out of the crease. If he does, he will take advantage of him. 2 dot balls to start Dhruv's second over. That's going to be hit for a 6. well over the spectator box in the offside. And just like that, the score continues to move 67-3. The run rate right now is just under 8 at 7.9. They have 3.3 overs remaining. Weakly offers at the ball there. Looked like he didn't want to take any risks. Drew has 22 runs off of 13 balls faced for a strike rate of 169. Jimit, his partner, has 7 runs off of 5 balls. One of them was a big 6. Drew's had a good comeback. Only the 1-6 conceded. Other than that, he's had 4 dot balls this over. Here's his last delivery of his second over. He'll have one more to deliver, I would assume, when they get into the power play situation. And there you go, Drew once again controlling his length and his line very well. Looks like the power play has been taken. Drew gave up only 6 runs, and that was off of the 1 clean strike that they had last over. Looks like Captain Devashish Soni is going to take the first over of the power play. Let's see how they set this up. Looks like he's going to have 2 players on the leg side only. Jimit Patel on strike. Taking a look, he sees 2 fielders, one in the straight and one on the leg side. Lots of space on the offside. Let's see what Devashish offers him with his first delivery of the power play. Looks like that was something he could have potentially cut across. Jimmy checking to see where that ball goes. Doesn't look like there's a fielder there. However, they do stop it on 1 hop. He's got 22 off of 15. Excellent length. Excellent line. Good mix-up of pace. You'll see Devashish fluctuate up and down. Looks like he's going to potentially adjust again. I've seen him play. I've kept him a few times. You know that once he comes with a heavy pace, he often swings and changes that to a slower ball. Drew by down on the offside for 4 runs, just under the hands of the fielder. Once again, those are important. Fielders got to get down. Sometimes you got to give up the body on this case. Here's Devashish's last delivery of the first power play over. That's a big 6 right into the VIP booth. That's a big 6. 11 runs given up in that power play. That last ball was expensive, but let's see how this plays out. He has a second power play over coming now. He's given the ball as captain over to Drew. This will be Drew's last over for the day. As far as the semifinal goes, if they advance to the finals, obviously he'll get a reset of 3. Here's Drew's first delivery of the second power play. And he bowled Jimit. Well done. And of course, the classic music played in the stadium for Captain Jimit of the Windsor Rangers as he heads back, talks to his teammate Romil Dalwadi, who comes in, also a seasoned player. He can do some damage. Let's see which version we get. Jimit leaves with 8 runs off of 8 deliveries. Romil on strike. Offered at it, but it looks like he was just looking to glance it over onto the leg side. That's a dot ball after the wicket. 78 on the board with the loss of 4. They need to get to that 90 target if they can. They've got 9 balls remaining. 100 would be great. That hit straight up in the air, comes back down, lands safely just for 1 run. Dhruv now takes a strike. He's got 32 off of 19. Hit a few boundaries. He does have the power that's needed to push this run rate and the score closer to 100 for the Windsor Rangers. He was looking to the leg side. Unfortunately for him, it's a dot ball. Fortunately for the North York Titans, Dhruv is bowling quite the over. He's taken 1 wicket. He has his last delivery coming up. He has 1 run given up. Dhruv in total after just under 3 overs. Here's his last delivery. I spoke too soon. Looks like he has a potential to a catch. He stepped in, but he moved in a little too far. That's 6 runs. That's 7 runs conceded by Dhruv. 17 total. After his 3, he's taken 1 wicket and given up 5.7 runs per over. Captain Devashish comes in to bowl the last over of the game, or of the innings for them. 85 on the scorecard. 95 looks like a good number. If Romil and Dhruv can move things along, Romil has only 1 run off of 3 deliveries faced. He really should try to get Dhruv on strike. Devashish picked up cleanly by Chaitanya, taking 0 risks, gets the run out. But what they needed happened, where they got Dhruv back on strike. Romil got a run out. Arpit Gandhi off strike. Dhruv on, and it's flipped up in the air and caught. There goes Dhruv. Go. New batsman Nikhil Mistry at the strike. Vice captain Arpit Gandhi off strike. They got 4 more deliveries to face from Captain Devashish Soni of the North York Titans. Nikhil takes it, flips it up in the air. Chetan with the catch. There's a 2nd wicket. Padding the stats here is Devashish Soni picking up some wickets. Here's a hat-trick ball for Devashish. Arpit Patel coming in. Arpit Gandhi is off strike. New batsman name is Arpit Patel. Just barely misses that hat trick. Devashish Soni has 2 more deliveries. Direct hit. Devashish picks up a run out. Holy, absolutely not letting up. He knows the importance of every single run. That's what a captain does. He leads by example. Well done by Devashish Soni. Picking up the ball almost at the crease after bowling it, turning around, gathering himself, and then going and hitting a direct hit, not even using the backup. Well done by Devashish. That's 4 wickets in this over. I mean, he has 1 more ball. The ball, he is exhausted. Arpit Gandhi is on strike. Devashish knows that the audience and the crowd here is going to let him hear it for that one. And he gets hit straight to the fielder. 1 hop, gets the ball in. Looks like they're coming to try to take a second run, and they get the run out. Just to make that scorecard look quite impressive with 5 wickets fallen in that last over. 2 runouts, 3 wickets taken. A lot of W's. Wicket, wicket, wicket. Dot ball, wicket, 1 run wicket. Great job by the North York Titans. 86 runs is the target. Set 87 to win is what the North York Titans now need to go ahead and chase. And here we go with the Windsor Rangers coming to take the field and defend a defendable target. They've got 86 on the board. 87 is what the North York Titans need to take another stab at getting a championship. The Windsor Rangers have never been to the finals. North York is no stranger to the finals, as are the Oshawa Warriors, who are waiting after winning the first semifinal over the GTA Gladiators. All 4 of these teams performed really well in the round robin play, also in their round robin as well as knockout and qualifier games. as we get ready for our next innings. We've got our next match players ready. You can see it's our older youth that are ready to get on the field and have a match before the finals. It's a tradition that we have here at Atmi Premier League to not just honor but also entice a lot of our players to be here as well. Here we go with the second half of the last semifinal. We have Sachin delivering to Pranay on strike. Pranay with the first shot, first ball. And it gets through for a 4 is what the umpire is saying here. 4 runs. 4 runs by Pranay on the first delivery from Sachin. Pranay with a second delivery. Caught! There's a wicket. That's a big wicket Sachin takes. Pranay has been a dangerous batsman throughout the tournament. He hit a 4 and then got caught on the long off. Good to go. Sachin to Chaitanya, who's the new batsman. Chaitanya just barely squeezes by. Luckily, that ball was not in line with the stumps. Sachin looking to do some damage here and get the Windsor Rangers into the finals for the first time. They do have to take some wickets. They do have to protect the boundaries. Good fielding by Nikhil Mistry. Getting another dot ball to Sachin's name. Chaitanya coming in, swinging a little blindly. Captain Devashish Soni does not want to come into this game early. He needs his batsmen to dig into that target. Chaitanya hits it off onto the leg side. That's for 4. Picked up by former Scarborough Strike Force player Dhruv, who's manning the boundary with Manan Thakkar and the kids on the leg side. That's 8 runs to the team. 4 runs for Chaitanya for 4 balls. That's the end of 1 over. New bowler Robil Dalwadi with his first delivery. Drops in safely. They go and take 2 runs. A little bit of a misfield by the fielder in the long on. Dhruv opens his account with 2 runs off the last ball. Umpire gives a wide call. Wide ball signaled. That's 11 runs. That's a big 6. Through doing some work out there in the audience. "17 runs for the North York Titans. 8 runs for Drew. Pushes it to the offside. Nobody there. Squeezes between the fielders. That's another boundary. Review. Tu lagyo? Ha? Ha? Kaya ba suits ya? Kat lagi. Kaya ba suits Okay. Here's Roman's last delivery. Pretty expensive over if you look at it. He's given up 17 runs so far. Umpire Sridev Raval doing a little bit of maintenance work on the field here. Last ball of the over from Romil to Drew. There's nobody there. Tapan Jadev with a one-handed catch with the baby in the hand. That's a one bounce 4. That's the end of the over for Romil. 21 runs conceded. Here's Nikhil Mistry to bowl his first over. Power play is now done. The fielders can go ahead and spread and cover a little more grass. Typical setup here from the Windsor Rangers. 3 players on the strong side, 2 on the offside. Chaitanya taking a look himself. He sees some daylight on the offside. They've had some success with a couple 4s go on the offside. Nikhil to Chaitanya. That ball was to be pushed a little bit further. He only took 1 run. He could have done a lot more damage, but Chaitanya seems content. He has 5 runs off of 5 balls, getting through on strike. Drew has 20 off of 6. There is a look back. Umpire has not signaled wide. He says it's a fair delivery. Nikhil has bowled Dhruv as he waits to grab his hat from the umpire. Nikhil picks up a big wicket, a big breakthrough wicket, just barely clipping the bails. The new batsman is captain Devashish Soni. As mentioned, I think he would have been better coming in after they had 40, 45 runs on the board, but the situation shows that he wants to have zero room for error. A little risky in my opinion, but he's been here many times and taken his team to the championship, also won the championship, so he knows what he's doing. Devashish looking at Nikhil, checking the fielding a little bit. We had two youngsters on the field. They're just clearing it there right now. Nikhil with his fourth delivery of Devashish with a strong shot, looking to get one stopped by Nikhil. Well done. A very, very tight over. Arpit Gandhi, vice captain here, bowling. That is a dangerous ball, well short, hit into the crowd. Chaitanya with a big six, 11 runs off of 6 balls. Devashish yet to open his account. Chaitanya swings over top of that ball. A little overconfident in my opinion. I think he should really. Arpit Gandhi, aside from that 6, has bowled 3 dot balls to follow up. Let's see if he can wind it up with 2 more good deliveries here. That is not a good delivery. It gives the batsman lots of space, especially on the offside. They only took 1, so that's not bad. Devashish takes a strike. Arpit has given up 6 plus 1 as he gears up for his last delivery. Devashish Soni. Gets the wide ball signaled by the umpire. Their current run rate is just under 10. They're at 9.9. They only require 6. They're doing very well as far as the rate goes. Devashish, not sure why he's playing that dangerous shot. Better off leaving it alone. They do have a few fielders tucked away behind and beside the keeper. Arpit gives the ball to Nikhil Mistry at the end of the over. Nikhil Mystery with his first delivery. Fielded cleanly, semi-cleanly by Chinmay. That's a dot ball. Nikhil picks up a second wicket. Nikhil picks up a second wicket. Chaitanya headed back to the pavilion. Devashish with a little bit of an appeal to no avail. His partner in crime, Chaitanya, is headed back. 12 runs off of 12 balls faced. He's done the damage that he needed to do. Nikhil Mystery with his third delivery. He's taken 2 wickets today, 2 big wickets. Wide ball. Vatsal getting acclimated with the crease. Really not showing much for Nikhil to play with here. But doesn't take much. Nikhil has found the stumps twice. Bowling 2 batsmen, 2 class batsmen. Nikhil has 3 more deliveries. This is third over. If that ball snuck through, wicketkeeper and captain Jimit would have seen that. And the bells light up again. A little bit of confusion, a little bit of action. Nikhil Mystery. Always animated. And that's the end of a very, very tidy over from Nikhil Mystery, aside from the 1 wide ball. Devashish Soni facing Arpit Gandhi, vice captain of the Windsor Rangers, facing the captain of the North York Thunder, North York Titans. Devashish Soni, who flicks the ball over for 4. Looks like a fair delivery. No flinch from the umpire. Look good from here. Devashish has 4 off of 6 balls faced. Devashish takes 1 run. Arpit Gandhi to face Vatsal Shah. Vatsal has yet to open his account. He has 0 runs off of 4 balls faced. Here's Arpit Gandhi with his 4th delivery. And it's a good one. No sign from the umpire. Wide ball given by the umpire. Flicked off onto the outside. There is offside. There is a fielder there. Looks like they're only taking one. Devashish is going to take the strike. Devashish has 5 runs to his name off of 7 balls. They need 41 off of 37. Very easy because they have wickets in hand. And Devashish making that equation even better with a straight 6. Full toss. Punished. Nikhil Mystery with a dot ball. Devashish kind of swinging a little aggressively, but continues to move the scoreboard. Devashish has 12 and he's not out. Obviously, off of 10 balls, Vatsal has 2 off of 7. Let's see if he can start moving the scorecard a little bit in his favor as well. There you go. With a little bit of a flick onto the offside. It squeezes away for 4. Just finding the gap. Well done by Vatsal. 29 runs needed off of 32 balls. The boundaries are killer. The Windsor Rangers need wickets. If I was in their spot right now, I'd probably bring in my top bowlers before they declare a power play and try to take that wicket, 1 or 2 wickets, as quickly as I could. Nikhil with his last delivery. Is not a good one. Pushed away for 4 on the leg side. That's the over. Vatsal on strike. 7 runs to his name. 9 balls faced. Romil Dilwadi. Gets a dot ball. Vatsal and Devashish staying aggressive between the wickets. Not sure if they should. They've got enough cushion. They only need 4.9 runs per over. They're currently sitting at 8.7. Lots of cushion. Lots of wickets in hand. Let's not get run out. No, 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 no. Luckily, the fielder misfielded. Devashish Soni leaving it all on the field. Couple bounces, couple bruises. He'll deal with all of that tomorrow. Offered on the offside. There is 4 runs to his name. Devashish Soni has 20 runs off of 13 balls. હજુ ફૂડ ફૂડ હજુ આવ્યું નથી. આ બેચ હા એ લોકોની મેચમાં સિનિયર મેચમાં આ બેને રેસ્ટ આપે બીજા બે મૂકીએ. હેના પાર્થ અને જીવાની બે છે. You're umpiring next? હા હા Power play selected. Here we go. Windsor Rangers have the compressed fielding. Only 2 fielders set in the long on and off. Devashish Soni on strike. Facing Sachin. Devashish pushes it off to the offside to sneak away with 1 run. Looks like he wants to let Vatsal do some damage. Vatsal has 8 runs after 11. There's a top edge. Looks like it's going to drop in. They're safe. 1 run taken. Looks like a fair delivery. Borderline, but umpire is giving the benefit of the doubt. Devashish flicks it off onto the leg side. Four runs for Devashish, 25 runs off of 17 balls. They are moving closer and closer to the finals, where they've been many times in the past. Devashish stepping in as the captain, once again leading his side to the finals. Anything can happen. I'm not doubting that, but the chances are slim, especially when you bowl short. That's another 4 runs for Devashish. 29 runs off of 19 balls. Romil. Romil has given up 27 runs in 2 overs. He's got the ball here. They need 7 runs in 17 balls. Devashish dangerously taking a run. Not sure if he should have went to the keeper end or the bowler end. Lots more time on the bowler end, it looked like, as the batsman was hesitant to leave. Either way, they sneak away with 1 run. They need 6 more off 16. Captain Devashish Soni maintains and keeps, is on strike. Devashish with the ball up in the air. Here comes the ball down. Dropped by Nikhil. Devashish sneaks in a run. He knows that could have and should have been potentially a loss. Hit to the leg side. 1 bounce for 4 runs. They just need 1 run to win here off of 14 deliveries. 1 run off 14 deliveries. Romil Dalwadi with the last delivery of his over. And unfortunately for him, fortunately for him, that is a wonderful catch by the fielder. Well done. Well done. Beautiful catch. Last ball. Anything can happen. Two-handed. Wonderful catch. And the long on. They still need that 1 run. That's a wicket taken by Romil at the end of his over. They're giving the ball to Nikhil. Let's see how this plays out. He's taken a couple big wickets. Anything can happen, folks. New batsman on strike. Off strike is Pratham. Vatsal had 14 runs off 17 balls faced. Looks like they've made a quick change. It's not going to be Nikhil. The Titans took over early, gave themselves a cushion, and now are close to victory. They need just 1 run. And it's not going to come on the first delivery. Dhruv with his first delivery. Dhruv with his second delivery. Also a dot. Devashish Soni, 4 dot balls, trying to get cute here and just push the ball across. Dhruv has 4 dots. Oh, off his fingertips. They're going to throw it. And that's the game, folks. The North York Titans are headed to the finals. Off the fielder's hands, off the bowler's hand. Well done. 32 runs by Devashish Soni, captain, leading his boys to the finals. We'll be back shortly for the finals. Follow us online at Atmia SC on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, folks.